Now, we meet some teens who are taking the topic of mental health head on with the help of a national network called Jack.org.
There's something wrong here.
Something a lot of people are ignoring.
75% of my friends are not getting the help they deserve.
We're dying too young.
We're struggling too young. This needs to change.
Jack.org is essentially started in 2010 when a young boy by the name of Jack Windler died by suicide, and his death shocked his parents and his peers and community around him. They had not recognized the behavior changes and the social isolation that Jack was going through because they did not have the education to identify when a young person was struggling with their mental health.
At Jack.org, it's the teens that are leading the cause.
Jack.org places young people at the front and center of this movement because peer-to-peer education is the best way to shift attitudes in young people, to start that conversation, to train and equip, and to empower young people across Canada today.
I've actually had a lot of peers come up to me from rugby or volunteer clubs or like my own academic cohort, and they're like, oh, I'm really stressed out, I'm wondering if there's resources, because I believe that as a peer, as youth, we are more approachable than our teachers or other adults.
Once you have all this knowledge and like all this information about what you can do to help and like what they can do to help themselves, it's a lot easier to reach out and be like, hey, we could look into getting you some counseling, or if you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. Because people may not always want to go to their parents or to their teachers or to the school counselors.
It's not something that's really spoken about, like teachers or staff at our school or like even parents. So starting the mental wellness group and then like Jack.org has kind of gotten teachers to talk about it too, which is really important. But having peers or students begin that and kind of normalizing it within like friend groups and not just society makes it so much easier for people to feel safe.
People's interest in this topic can be a very personal thing.
I got involved with mental health advocacy and with Jack.org specifically because I recognize that there's a lot of silence on the topic of mental health. Mental health was never spoken about or even talked about when I was in high school, so I didn't even know that this essential aspect of my health existed.
I come from a third world country, Afghanistan actually, and I grew up in a culture that you don't speak about mental health. And when I came here, I was surprised that you don't really speak about mental health here either. I realized that there's so much about my own struggles with my mental health and my peers' struggles that we don't talk about, that, well, I can't just wait around for other people to do something. I might as well do something myself.
Jack.org has many ways to engage youth in talking about mental health, including Jack Talks and Jack Summits.
The Jack Talks are like student leaders who go around to universities or high schools or any organization and give like a talk about maybe their own experience or a mental health 101 to like a group. It helps create conversation about mental health and mental health advocacy.
It's really exciting to be at a summit. You just kind of get the gathering. For the one at Talk at the Top, it was Sea to Sky Corridor, which included all students from like Whistler and like Pemberton, and so many people came down all the way to the North Shore, to Grouse Mountain, to kind of get excited and talk about mental health and just kind of spread the word and spread ideas. And there were so many young leaders there that were excited to kind of get more educated and like go back to their schools and start change.
Mental health can be an uncomfortable topic, but we shouldn't be afraid of it.
Take the first step in and just like try something new, and like if you there's no harm in like checking out like a mental wellness group, go to Jack.org and like see if it's anything that resonates with you.
As student leaders, we put ourselves out there, we make ourselves approachable, because for a healthy relationship, a trusting relationship, you have to be vulnerable and you have to allow others to be vulnerable. And when we are vulnerable, when we speak about these type of topics and initiate the conversation, that means other people our own age will feel more comfortable beginning those conversations with us as well.